Federal Credit Union broadcast of Lumberjack football on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's. Join Tim Parrish as he brings you the play-by-play of tonight's Lumberjack football game. We want to take a moment to thank all of our Lumberjack sports sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now we'll send it out to the field where Tim Parrish is waiting with the pregame show. And as always, go Lumberjack!
And welcome, Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field as we get set for senior night here tonight on a pretty gorgeous night here in St. Mary's. Your Lumberjack football team hosting the Grangeville Bulldogs. JV action going on now. It's been a really good game for the most part for the JV boys. They are trailing, though, now by 2 scores to the Grangeville JV, 40-24. But it's been a back-and-forth battle all game long for the JV action here tonight. Let's see. Like I said, it is senior night tonight. We're going to be running through soccer seniors and football seniors as the evening progresses. So we'll recognize all of them as well. And then, of course, have the football action right here for you also. With that being said, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff after this, and we'll have our interview with head coach Hayden Humphrey.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch-Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch-Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch-Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch-Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch-Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch-Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch-Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance. This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
And we are back. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field. JV boys just punched in a touchdown, and it'll make the score 30-40 with 3:35 to go. Grangeville JV on top. So got a pretty good ball game here with the JV game going on. With that, let's see here. We're going to get into our coaches interview, but first we're going to recognize one of our senior soccer players, and we're going to be doing a senior boy, the only senior on the boys soccer team, Dylan Hansen. His parents and guardian, Margie Hansen. He has 1 year of playing soccer. After high school, Dylan plans to attend NIC to become an electrician. His activities in school include wrestling, track, soccer. His most memorable moment, getting to be goalie at the beginning of the year. Dylan would like to thank his coaches, his teachers, his friends, and family for getting him through school. It is St. Mary's Lumberjack soccer senior, Dylan Hansen. Now, let's step into our interview with head coach Hayden Humphrey. And we are here with head coach Hayden Humphrey for Lumberjack football as St. Mary's gets ready to take on the Grangeville Bulldogs for senior night. Coach, you're coming off of your bye week. You've had 2 weeks essentially off. What has been your focus during that time?
We've just been focused on getting people healthy as much as we can, cleaning up some stuff that, needed addressed that we saw either earlier in the season or last week, making a few little personnel changes here and there. You got 2 weeks to kind of experiment, I guess, with some stuff. So moved a few people around here and there, made some different changes, but just mainly the main focus is just getting through, to the boys that, these next 3 weeks are the season right here. We took care of business against Kellogg's. Everything that is not league is practice. I know you can get into the max preps thing and this and that, but they're behind us. It is what it is. There's only going to be one team that's coming out of this league that's getting into the playoffs. So let's do what we need to do, and let's handle business there. We're not going to get lucky and get in with a at large. So these next 3 weeks are big weeks. We got to take care of what we can take care of.
All right. Yeah. I was actually looking at the Max Preps rankings the other day, and it doesn't look like out of the Central Idaho League, any team will be in that large bid where we're all sitting.
We will get one out of our league, and that's going to be it.
You mentioned health. How is the team from a health or injury standpoint?
This point in the season, you're never as healthy as you want to be, but that's football. That's the way it goes. Overall, I think we're doing pretty well. Everybody's got, sore shoulder, sore knee, sore leg, whatever it is. Everybody's beat up somewhere. But overall, we're pretty happy with where we're sitting health-wise. We were able to give some of our guys some rest that they were able to, heal up on some stuff that's kind of been some nagging stuff. There's some that you need longer than 2 weeks to get cleaned up. But overall, I think they're good. They feel a lot better. They're excited, and they understand what's in front of them.
All right. It is senior night tonight. Like we mentioned, do you have any message to the seniors?
Yeah, I told these seniors the other day that my biggest regret in coaching is that I don't have 4 more years with them. They're a great group of kids. They've welcomed me with open arms, and I really, really appreciate that. They've bought in. They've done a great job. I couldn't think of a better group of kids for my first year.
All right, we're talking with head coach Hayden Humphrey as the Lumberjacks football team gets set to take on the Bulldogs. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy with services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires, and that's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Blinker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on the spindly stool. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we are here with head coach Hayden Humphrey for Lumberjack football as St. Mary's gets ready to take on the Grangeville Bulldogs for senior night. Coach, you're coming off of your bye week. You've had 2 weeks essentially off. What has been your focus during that time?
We've just been focused on getting people healthy as much as we can, cleaning up some stuff that, needed addressed, that we saw either earlier in the season or last week, nagging stuff. Grangeville, but we aren't either. I mean, we were hoping for a different start to the season, but, they're very well coached. They're definitely big brother. And so, that's something that we would like to change.
So what is
the other days? I really appreciate that. They've bought in. They've done a great job. Appreciate that. They've bought.
All right, we're set to take on the Bulldogs. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more.
Yeah, no. When you look at that rivalry, they're definitely big brother.
And we'll be back. I don't think they're back. And we'll be back with more. And we're back. Grangeville night tonight. I don't think there's too many other games usually in Lumberjack football season that are almost bigger than playing Grangeville this year. Priest River is going to be a pretty big game as well. But Grangeville, we've beat them twice over the last, since 2009-2010 season, at least on Idaho Sports. I think every year I forget, since we actually beat them in the 22-23 season, I had forgot that we beat them then. Yeah. So I always say, we've only beat them once. And then I go back through and I go, oh, no, we actually beat them twice. So still, we're kind of lopsided. I think it's 2-13 over the last
when you look
years.
When you look at that rivalry, they're definitely big brother. And so, that's something that we would like to change.
So what is it that you see about the Bulldogs? I know historically in past years, they'd always been a really run-heavy team, but they've kind of switched it up a little bit in the last couple of years, it looks like.
Yeah, the one thing that with Grangeville that I will always say is they're very well coached. Year in, year out, I told everybody, earlier in the year, some of the boys, they lost a bunch of seniors, and I said, it doesn't matter. They are a program. They don't rebuild, they reload. I know that I know that they're not having the season that they're necessarily, I'm sure they're hoping for. We aren't either. I mean, we were hoping for a different start to the season, but it is what it is. But I expect nothing but a very well-coached team. They looks like they've switched back a little bit more to a little more run-heavy of a team. But they do have a quarterback that he's a big boy, and he can throw the ball. So, just trying to get through to them. Don't take anything for granted. Yeah, we're seeing on film that they like to run, and they can run. But he can throw it if he wants to.
Yeah, in the preseason information on Idaho Sports, he was actually listed as a defensive lineman, their quarterback. He is now the quarterback this year.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
Let's see. Yeah, I think every coach has said that, from you to Rouse to, obviously Coach Teft has always had high praise of the coaching and that Grangeville football program.
Absolutely.
And I was going to say, it's got to be kind of a fun thing, maybe interesting way for you. You've had the chance. I think you played against that coach.
Oh, yeah. I played against Adams.
And now you get to coach against that coach. So it's pretty interesting.
It is. It's exciting. I will say that I've never beat Grangeville, and I would love to beat Grangeville.
From two different aspects.
Yep.
So what are your keys to win over the Bulldogs?
I think we just need to take care of what we can take care of. I know they're going to get their plays. I know that they're going to find their success. Like I said, they're well coached. They're going to find something. So if, as a coaching staff, if we can make the proper adjustments that we need to on the fly, I think we'll be okay. Offensively, we have got to put our points on the board, and we cannot settle for, almost. That has plagued us this season. And some of our losses, we've moved the ball very well and just don't finish the drive. So we need to take care of that. That's been a big emphasis. Defensively, we've shifted some personnel around here and there. They're really excited where they're at, where we move people around. They've done a good job these past 2 weeks of getting ready for this. I think really my biggest worry as a coach is, you see it all the time, how do you respond from a bye week? You kind of it's nice, that break, you get to, like I said, experiment, get guys healthy, but at the same time, you lose your rhythm. So, coming out, starting hot is going to be a big thing. We can't start slow and play catch up. We need to come out firing and start off hot.
Yeah. Well, I definitely agree with what you said about the bye week. And I say in our instance, I think the bye week wasn't necessarily bad. Now, I could say if you're coming off of 2 wins, getting on a roll, and then all of a sudden you got 2 weeks off. The good and bad with it is we were coming off of a two-game losing streak. Right. So it's kind of a chance to reset and say, okay.
Yep. No, it was a good time for it. As good a time as you can ask for. It's just a matter of how do we respond offensively and rolling. So
how do you come back out game night and get back into the role of actually playing a game?
Yep.
Okay, so what do you want to see out of the Jacks tonight?
Just, I sound like a broken record, I'm sure, to everybody listening, but just execution, offensively and defensively. I think we've got a really solid game plan. Boys have been
And we are here with head coach Hayden Humphrey for Lumberjack football as St. Mary's gets ready to take on the Grangeville Bulldogs for senior night. Coach, you're coming off of your bye week. You've had 2 weeks essentially off. And we've had some issues with getting that interview through cleanly, so we'll just kick it out right there. It is senior night here at Lumberjack Field. The JV game has finished up as 38-40, I believe. St. Mary's JV lost by 2, so a good hard-fought battle for the JV squad. And now we get set for varsity action with the Lumberjacks hosting the Grangeville Bulldogs. As you heard in that interview, we've only beat Grangeville twice since 2009, 2010. One of those times was in 2016-17 year when St. Mary's won state. The last time was just a few years back, and that was a pretty close game as well. But St. Mary's has only beat Grangeville on Grangeville's home field. St. Mary's hasn't beat Grangeville here in St. Mary's. And just wanted to say, we didn't give a weather update, but got some clouds rolling over with a little bit of sprinkling going on. So we could see a little bit of rain action, a little bit of sprinkling at least here this evening. We'll see if that is a one-time shot or if it kind of carries on. But actually, looking out the window, it looks like I see quite a few raindrops. So it's raining kind of decently at the moment. Anyways, we are here for the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kickoff. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more of the pregame show.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Working a turn for that friendly hand of support. Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports. For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation, 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjacks!
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message is presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid that that breaker box needs some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field. Lumberjack football team now coming out onto the field. The varsity guys all wearing pink socks in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And like I said, senior night. So they're going to introduce all the seniors here at 6:30. So we've got a nice little huddle out there at midfield for the Lumberjack varsity boys getting a break before they honor their seniors. Speaking of seniors, we're going to take a look at one of our senior soccer players. I just turned up our audio, which should be into the NFHS network camera. We'll see if it is actually, I don't know for sure if there's going to be a break between games or not. But if it isn't, we want to welcome the NFHS network watchers that might be on right now. Most of you will probably come on at 7 o'clock when the game starts. But we've got Nisha Banyo, Lumberjack girl soccer player. She's a senior. Her parents and guardians are Dennis and Pinky Humphrey. She has 2 years of playing soccer. After high school, she is unsure of what she wants to do. Her activities in school include soccer, wrestling manager, and track. Her most memorable moment when she was trying to score a goal but ended up running into the side of the goal instead. Nisha would like to thank her parents, Dennis and Pinky, her sisters, Bailey and Taylor, Hayden and Josie Humphrey, Grandma and Papa, all of her aunts, Jamie and Scott Soten, Greta Harder, Tatum Humphrey, all of her friends, Miss Keneally, Miss Jorgensen, Miss Wickard, Amber and Tim for putting in their time to coach, and all of her teammates. That's Lumberjack soccer player Nisha Banyo. They will be hosting the Grangeville Bulldogs tomorrow for senior night over at the soccer fields. I mentioned the rain as we went to a break. It's currently about 61 degrees. It says this is probably the only rain shower that we're going to see for the evening, but we'll see what happens. It's a pretty dark cloud off kind of the east side coming from a little bit southeast direction, and we'll see how that plays out for the rest of the evening. But it says that after this rain shower that it should be decent for the rest of the night. It shows 7 p.m. partly cloudy at about 58 degrees. So perfect night, perfect weather for Friday Night Lights. Now back to the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff as the Lumberjacks host the Grangeville Bulldogs in a 3A Central Idaho League battle tonight. Taking a look at the league standings. St. Mary's comes into tonight with a 1-0 league record, 3-3 overall. They lost to Timberlake before the bye week by a score of 30-27 here at home. St. Mary's is 13th in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 15th in the Max Preps Rankings. The Priest River Spartans, they are 1-0 in league play, 3-4 overall. They lost to Colfax 34-20. They are on a 4-game losing streak, but they are at Orofino tonight. They are 9th in Idaho Sports, 17th in Max Preps. They will be playing St. Mary's next Friday in Priest River. And if St. Mary's wins tonight, that game next week will be the game for the district championship or the league championship to see who's going to earn possibly that lone bid to the state playoffs. The Grangeville Bulldogs, and now if St. Mary's loses tonight and ends up at 1-1, it could end up creating a 3-way tie at the end of the season, depending on what happens. So we'll see what takes place. Anyways, back to the standings. Grangeville, 1-1 in league play, 3-4 overall. They beat Orofino last week, 58-2. Grangeville had been on a 4-game losing streak, I believe, before taking on Orofino. They are 12th in Idaho Sports, 14th in the Max Preps rankings. Kellogg, the Wildcats, 1-1 in league play as well, 2-3 overall. They lost 66-0 to Moscow in their last game. They are hosting Anaconda tonight out of Montana. That game actually kicked off at 6 o'clock in Kellogg. The Wildcats are 14th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 18th in the Max Preps rankings. Orofino 0-2 in league play, 0-5 overall. They lost 58-2 to Grangeville last week. They are hosting Priest River tonight. They're 17th in the Max Preps rank, or in the Idaho Sports rankings, and 21st in the Max Preps rankings. Taking a look at the overall polls and power rankings, the Idaho Sports Power Rankings top 5 in 3A is Ryrie, North Fremont, Westside, West Jefferson, and New Plymouth. In the coaches poll, top 5 is Ryrie, Westside, Aberdeen, North Fremont, and West Jefferson. In the media poll, it's Westside, Ryrie, North Fremont, Aberdeen, and Declo. And in the ones that really count, the Max Preps rankings, Ryrie, Westside, Aberdeen, North Fremont, and West Jefferson. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff. We've got a Lumberjack sports update and also an update on sports around the area, Lakeside and Kootenai.
The name says it all. Taco Bout It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from Triple X Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks! If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's. Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. Triple X Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. Triple X Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, Triple X Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's today.
Tim Parrish back here at Lumberjack Field. Senior night as the Lumberjacks get set to host the Grangeville Bulldogs. It is, like I said, senior night, so they're getting the senior night introductions done with out here on the field. Speaking of seniors, we're going through our soccer seniors, and our next soccer senior is Madison Hillman. Her parents are Casey Hillman and Elvin Hillman. She has 13 years of playing soccer. After high school, Madison plans to attend U of I and get a law degree. Her activities in school is soccer. Her most memorable moment at districts when Nefelli didn't know it wasn't okay to completely tackle a girl like it's football, or when Beth got a red card at districts last year. Madison would like to thank Bethany, her parents, Rebecca, Kaylin, Amber, Kate, Liara, and the rest of the girls for making this year an amazing one. That is Lumberjack senior soccer player Madison Hillman. Now back to our countdown to kickoff, and we'll take a look at some Lumberjack sports updates and around the rest, kind of the county, but not really. It's still in, because we look at Kootenai as well, and they're in Kootenai County. But first, the Lumberjack sports update. Varsity volleyball is 0-7 in league play, 2-16 overall on the season. They lost 3 sets to none to Kellogg last night, and they will be hosting Timberlake on the 14th. I think their senior night is coming up. It's either going to be, they've only got 2 games left. They're both home, and I'm assuming senior night's going to be the last game against Grangeville. Boys soccer, 0-9 on the season, 0-11, or 0-9 in league play, 0-11 overall. They lost 16-0 at Coeur d'Alene Charter in their last action, and they will be hosting Grangeville tomorrow at noon at Potlatch-Deltic Fields for their senior night. Girls soccer is 2-7 in league, 4-7 overall. They lost 9-0 at Charter and this week, and they will host Grangeville tomorrow at 2, also for their senior night. It was a tough week of soccer for, I think, boys and girls. They played, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night they had games. Or no, maybe I think it was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday they had games. They played 3 games straight. Coach Amber gave the girls yesterday off after playing 3 straight days of games. So they were back at it tonight practicing when I came out to the games here tonight. Taking a look at Lakeside Volleyball, the Knights have had a very good regular season, 5-1 in league play, 13-1 overall. Their last action was a win over Tico Roselia out of Washington, 3-0. Next up for them is district tournament action. In the football side of things, it's been a tough year for Lakeside football, 0-1 in league, 0-5 overall. They lost 54-32 to Court of Christ in their last game. That was, it says, last night. And they are at Deary on the 3rd, which maybe I didn't update these properly for Lakeside's football action because today is well past the 3rd. So maybe disregard my update on Lakeside football. Kootenai Volleyball, 1-3 overall, 2-11 overall, 1-3 in league. They lost 3-0 to St. Mary's, and up for them next is district tournament action. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. It'll be Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff after this.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's.
And we are back. It is senior night, and shame on Mr. Hammond over there. He almost missed 2 of our seniors. They were over there jumping up and down asking why they weren't being recognized. Caden Morris and Amato Stewart almost got forgot on senior night. Anyways, back to the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. Let's take a look.
Thank you. Get ready for kickoff.
Okay. They were doing a moment of silence, I think, for everybody who lost to breast cancer. So let's get back to the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kickoff, and we've got some stats to kind of go over for the season so far for the Lumberjacks. We'll start with offense. Lumberjacks averaging about 32 points per game on the season. Total yardage per game, 355 yards per game for the Lumberjacks. Passing yardage has been pretty solid for St. Mary's, 217 yards a game, and running yardage as well. I mean, you're never going to complain when you're over 100 yards per game rushing. St. Mary's averaging 139 yards on the ground per game. St. Mary's averaging 8 yards per pass attempt, 5 yards per carry. St. Mary's has lost 5 fumbles and thrown 5 interceptions. I think St. Mary's is like -1 or 2 in the turnover battle still. Third down conversion percentage, 45% for the Lumberjacks. Fourth down conversions, 24%. Offensive leaders, Jack Barta, senior quarterback, has 101 completions out of 162 attempts for 1,296 yards. He has thrown 14 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He's been sacked seven or eight times on the season. He is 7 completions away from a single season record, I believe it is, for the Lumberjacks in completions. Brock Barta, senior wide receiver, leads the team with catches, 446 yards, 7 touchdowns. He has a long of 53 on the year. Isaiah Gustav, also a senior, 19 catches, 360 yards with a touchdown, and a long of 51 yards. In the ground game, Aiden Yearout leads the Lumberjacks. He's a senior. He has 71 carries with 553 yards on the year with 8 touchdowns. He has a long of 90. Caden Morris, senior, he's a little bit banged up, but he's a senior running back with 24 carries, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a long of 62. And in special teams, Isaiah Gustav has returned 2 kicks for touchdowns on the season. Defensively for the Lumberjacks, they're allowing about 28 points per game, 307 total yards per game. Lumberjacks are only allowing 101 passing yards, but 207 rushing yards. So they've been struggling a little bit on that run defense, and some of the tackling has kind of hurt St. Mary's a little bit. So they're going to see what they've worked on over the last 2 weeks and see if they can shore up that tackling and that run defense. Third down conversions, 30% is what teams are getting on the Lumberjacks. Fourth down conversions, 41%. St. Mary's has forced 4 fumbles and 3 interceptions. That says 7 to St. Mary's 10. So I think St. Mary's might be -3 in the turnover battle. St. Mary's has sacked the opposing quarterback 13 times, and they've been pretty good on throwing teams that like to throw the ball. St. Mary's has been able to get pressure on the quarterbacks quite a bit. Like I said, 13 sacks, 42 QB hurries. Defensive leaders, junior Cody Mitchell leads the team in tackles, 44 on the season with 2 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 12 quarterback hurries, and 1 fumble recovery. Senior Amato Stewart with 38 tackles, 2 sacks, and 7 tackles for loss. Will Durham, a senior, 27 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. Aiden Yearout, senior, 23 tackles, 2 sacks, and 5 tackles for loss. Colin DeGravio, a senior, 15 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Nate George, just a sophomore, 13 tackles on the season, 1 interception, and 11 passes, or I think it's actually up to 13 passes defense now. He has been really pretty good in the pass coverage as a sophomore. Jackson Harold, a junior, 14 tackles, 7 passes defense. And like I said, we've got Durham with 3 sacks, leads the team with sacks, but Blaine Kusarick, Aiden Yearout, Kyle Smith each have 2 sacks apiece, as does Cody Mitchell. So that's a look at your stats for the Lumberjacks. We'll take a break and come back and look at the Grangeville Bulldogs.
Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1 million in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's.
There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift. Something new for your house or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field as we get set for Friday Night Lights. Your St. Mary's Lumberjacks hosting the Grangeville Bulldogs here on senior night. And this is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. And it is, like I said, senior night. We've been recognizing the Lumberjack soccer players for senior night as well, as their senior night is tomorrow. Our next senior soccer player is Kaylin Boyette. Parent and guardians Tim and Amanda Boyette. She has 14 years of playing soccer. After high school, Kaylin plans to attend college to study criminology and major crimes. Activities in school include BPA, ASB, basketball, and track. Her most memorable moment, when Kate got told she could be goalie for the end of a game, she was crawling around on the ground, barking and meowing at the other team. Kaylin would like to thank her dad for everything he has done from the very start. He has always been her #1 supporter as a dad and as her coach from 4 years old till now. Amber for always pushing her to be the better version of herself. Her mom for always making sure everything is perfect. Lydia, Ben, and Everett for always being the best cheerleaders at every game, even if they aren't able to be there. Maddie and Becca for being the ride or die throughout her high school career. She would also like to thank her grandparents, aunts, uncles, all of her cousins, the rest of the soccer team, and anyone else that she may have forgot. That's Lumberjack senior soccer player Kaylin Boyette. Now let's take a look at the ever tough Grangeville Bulldogs. Holy smokes, they've had St. Mary's number when it comes to football. Lumberjacks are 2-13 versus the Bulldogs. Of course, Grangeville, 3A Central Idaho League. They are part of District 2. They are 4-0, or no, last year they were 4-0 in league play, 6-4 overall. They are 1-1 this year in league, 3-4 overall. And their head coach is Jeff Adams in his 9th season at the helm of the Bulldogs. I will say, you mentioned in the pregame interview with Coach Hayden, Hayden Humphrey had the chance to play against Coach Adams. He also is now going to be coaching against him. I was talking to Coach Adams before the game, and he praised Coach Hayden as being a heck of a corner from back in the day. So some accolades there from him. Looks like we're getting ready to do the national anthem, so we will go ahead and turn up our crowd mic and get the national anthem as well. There we are back. National anthem done. Let's see here. So the Bulldogs beat St. Mary's last year 64-34. Let's get some starting lineups, actually. I don't have my recorded starting lineup from before, so we'll get starting lineups. Starting with the the Bulldogs. The first starter will be number 1, Colton Heitzman for the Bulldogs. Number 3, Hollis Elliott, a sophomore. Number 11, Troy Long. Number 12, Will Told, the junior. Number 13, Gage Smith. This is a pretty young Bulldog team. They've got 1 senior on their roster. Next starter is number 17, Tate Schumacher.
Number 19, Parker Pooley.
Next starter, number 19, Parker Pooley.
Number 52, Kobe Beach.
Number 52, Kobe Beach.
Number 55, Brody Minry.
Number 55, Brody McGinry.
And number 70, Oren Farmer.
Number 66. I don't have the 66 on this roster. I don't have a 66 on my roster for the Bulldogs.
Starting off tonight was senior number 2, Grayson Lamar.
Well, I do not have the senior for that. So the starting lineup for the Lumberjacks will be number 2 senior Grayson DeLong. Maybe the number 5 senior Isaiah Gustav. Then junior number 6 Jackson Harold.
Senior
number 7 senior Brock Barda.
Senior number 13.
Then the next one, senior number 13 Jack Barda.
Senior number 23, Aiden.
Senior number 23, Aiden Yearout.
Senior number 56.
Number 56, senior William Durham.
Senior number 58.
Senior number 58, Russell Brousseau.
Senior number 59.
Next one is senior number 6. Number 59.
Number 74, Dylan Gentry.
So Dylan Gentry is the number 74. Number 69 is Riley Porter. Or no, number 59, Tatham Pryor. I don't know why I don't have Tatham on there. Next starter is number 77, a senior, Kyle Smith. And I don't know why I don't got Tatham Pryor on my roster. He should be, but I don't have him up there. So just really quick, St. Mary's is 2-13 against the Wildcat, or against the Bulldogs, going back to the 9-10 season. 5 games have been within 1 touchdown. The Bulldogs have averaged 32 points per game against the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks have averaged just 15 points per game versus Grangeville. St. Mary's wins over Grangeville 8-0 in the 16-17 season and 18-6 in the 22-23 seasons. And all those wins have been in Grangeville. So St. Mary's looking forward to maybe getting a home victory over the Bulldogs here on senior night. I did not catch our honorary captain's name for St. Mary's, but our other captains, Jack Barta, Brock Barta, we've got Kyle Smith and Russell Brousseau. For the Bulldogs, it is the number 55 of McGinnery, number 52, that is Beach, and number 11, that one is Long, and 12 is Will Told for the Bulldogs. Grangeville in their white uniforms with blue numbers and some blue highlights, white pants, and white helmets. St. Mary's will be in their green with black pants, gold numbers, gold helmets. As they get the coin toss, Grangeville will call the toss in the air. They're showing both teams the heads and tails, and the head official will get the coin toss up. And looks at the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's has won the toss. Lumberjacks will defer, so St. Mary's will go on defense to start. Lumberjacks will kick to get things rolling tonight. And we'll see which side St. Mary's chooses to kick from. Or actually, I think Grangeville gets to decide that since St. Mary's won the toss. So Grangeville will defend the east end zone. They will go right to left or left to right on your radio dial. St. Mary's will go left to right. And we are just moments away from the opening kick here at Lumberjack Field as senior night gets underway. Lumberjacks hosting the Grangeville.
Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 AM, St. Mary's, Idaho. North Idaho's classic hits.
Kicking for the Lumberjacks, it should be the senior of Santiago Prinzato, the foreign exchange student out of Italy. He led the state of Idaho in kickoff yardage for most of the year. I haven't double-checked it recently. He might still be leading it. I'm not sure. Back deep for the Bulldogs will have number 17 and number 3. 17 is Shoemaker. Number 3 is Elliott for Grangeville. I don't know why I always seem to have Wildcats on the brain. It seems like every game we play, I almost always want to say, call the other team Kellogg. I just don't know why. Prinzato will line the ball up on the right hash mark. And the whistle is blown. The kick is off, and we are underway. It's a nice deep kick fielded at about the 14-yard line, returned to the right side of the field. One tackler can't bring him down, but he will be brought down by the number 24 of Prinzato.
By Elliott. Grangeville will take over just shy of the 30-yard line, first and 10.
And it was Elliott with the return for the Bulldogs. That ball will be right up to the 30-yard line. And Santiago got the tackle. First and 10 for Grangeville. At their own 30-yard line. They have one receiver split to the top of the formation. Under center is the quarterback, Gage Smith. Snap. He's going to hand it off first man through. He's going to pick up a few yards. In there on the tackle was Jackson Harold. Going to be a penalty against the Lumberjacks possibly. We'll tack on some yardage. About a 4-yard run. Add on the penalty, though.
It's going to be an automatic first down, Grangeville.
And we'll give the Bulldogs an automatic first down on the face mask.
First and 10 from the 48, Grangeville.
First and 10 from the 48 of St. Mary's. Bulldogs hand it off up the middle. Runner gets some room to run. That was Elliott again. He's going to be tackled.
First down yardage will be first and 10 from the 42-yard line, Grangeville.
I'm not sure who he got tackled by there.
Tackled by Barda.
I thought it was Barda with the tackle. That ball will be taken to the 37 of St. Mary's. First and 10 for the Bulldogs on the Lumberjack side of the field. Snap, handoff, first man through. Little jump cut there. Going to get Jackson Harold on him as Elliott picks up 5 or so. Takes that down to about the 30-yard line.
Tackled by Harold Moore.
Actually about a 6 or 7 yard pickup for Elliott. So it's second about 4 for Grangeville. Into St. Mary's territory on the Lumberjack 30. One receiver goes to the top of the formation for Grangeville. Under center, Smith takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Going to pick up a first down, I believe. Durham on the tackle. Shoemaker with the run. The ball marked at the Lumberjack 25-yard line. Brings up first and 10 as the Bulldogs marching down the field. Again, one receiver to the top of the formation for the Bulldogs. Smith under center. Takes the snap, hands off first man through. He's going to get to the outside and the edge. And one man to beat. He'll be taken down by Brock Barda. First and 10 at the 5. And the Bulldog run game working pretty good at the moment. Lumberjacks need to stiffen up that defense. First and goal from the 5. Grangeville getting their play into the huddle. Gage Smith gets the play communicated with his team. Under center. One receiver split out to the top. Going to hand it off to Elliott, and he's going to be into the end zone fairly easily.
Looks like it's just going to be Elliott's going to be just shy.
Oh, they're going to say stop short.
From the half-yard line, Grangeville.
Didn't quite see which Lumberjack wrapped him up, but it's going to be second and goal from about the 1. I thought he'd gotten in. One receiver to the top of the formation again for Grangeville. Everybody else in tight. Smith takes snap. He's going to push it forward himself, and I believe he is in. No signal now there is, and the Bulldogs will take the first possession, drive it down the field, and punch it in for a touchdown. They go up 6-0 over the Lumberjacks with 9:08 to go in the first period. Lumberjacks, or the Bulldogs, will kick. The kicker is Gomez, number 37 for Grangeville. And snap, the kick is up. Nice kick right down the middle. It's good. And the Bulldogs take the 7-0 lead over St. Mary's. And we're not going to take a break. We're going to go into one of our seniors here for the soccer team. We've got Rebecca Dittman, the next senior. Her guardians and parents, Shane Dittman and Sarah Codini. She has 4 years of playing soccer. After high school, Rebecca plans to attend college to become an orthodontist. 7 plays, 70 yards for the Bulldogs. Activities in school, soccer and track. Her most memorable moment, the Scary Boys at DQ, the Scary Boys at Priest River, and when Beth got a red card at Districts. Rebecca would like to thank Cameron, Darian, Sarah, Liara, Jada, her mom, and Meg, and Jen, Kate, Cadence, Claire, Kelly, Sheila, Serenity, Kayleen, Maddie, and of course, Coach Amber and Tim, along with everyone else she has played soccer with, because she can't name them all. That is Lumberjack senior soccer player Rebecca Dittman. Kicking off for the Bulldogs is number 37. That is Gomez. Back to return for the Lumberjacks is Gustav, Brousseau, and Barda. It's going to be a short kick and be picked up at the 20 by Barda on the far side. Barda looking for some room. He'll be brought down just across the 25.
Just shy of the 30-yard line will be first and 10, St. Mary's.
Lumberjacks first and 10. And it looks to be the 28-yard line. So St. Mary's will start with their first possession. Year out in the backfield. Rousseau lined up in front of him. St. Mary's in the I formation. Barta under center. Two receivers. Hand off to Year Out. Oh, Year Out met in the backfield as the Bulldogs just flew right through the offensive line and a loss of about 4 on the run. Good penetration by the Bulldog defense. It's about a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12 for the Lumberjacks. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Barta now in the shotgun, flanked by Year Out to the right. Moves Year Out to the left, takes the snap, hands it off to Year Out. Year Out powers forward, might get back to the original line of scrimmage, but not much more after that. Brings up 3rd and long for the Jacks. St. Mary's drive is not starting off the way they'd like to see it offensively. 3rd and 10 for St. Mary's on their own 28-yard line. 4 receivers set once again, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun, flanked by Year Out, moves him to the left side or to the right side now. Takes the snap, looks to throw. Has time over the middle. Tipped and broken up. Good defensive play by Gage Smith to get in there and knock that ball down. And it's 4th down for the Lumberjacks. Isaiah was the intended receiver. Gage Smith gets in there to knock that ball down. 4th and long. St. Mary's goes 3 and out with their first possession. They're going to have to punt the ball away. Not the way you want to start if you're St. Mary's. Grayson DeLong to punt for the Jacks. Gets the snap, gets the punt away. And that's going to take it took a Grangeville bounce, then a Lumberjack bounce. It's still going to be in St. Mary's territory. It'll be at the Lumberjack 49-yard line. Oh, wait. Don't do that. .732 to go. Bulldogs lead 7-0. Second possession for the Bulldogs offensively. 1 receiver to the top. Grangeville takes the snap, hands it off, coming near side, finds some room to run. That is number 19, a Pooley. He'll be brought down by Stewart at about the 40.
There's going to pick up 9. 2nd and 1 Grangeville.
Motto Stewart gets the tackle. 2nd and 1 for the Bulldogs. Lumberjacks going to have to find an answer from the Bulldog run game right now, as they haven't had to throw the ball yet. 1 receiver to the top. Smith under center, takes the snap, hands it off. First man through, gets the edge. That's Elliott. He'll be brought down finally by DeLong, but after a big gain.
That'll be another Grangeville first down.
Right now, the Bulldogs running at will on the Lumberjacks. That ball to the 24-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Grangeville. Again, deep into Lumberjack territory. They're at the Lumberjack 24-yard line. Bulldogs lead 7-0, 6:42 to go in the first period. Bulldogs have 1 receiver to the top of the formation. Everybody else in tight. 2 running backs in the backfield. Smith under center. Smith takes the snap, hands off 2nd man through this time, going to the right side. He'll be hogtied and brought down by Durham after a couple of yard pickup.
5 yards.
Number 17 is Schumacher. William Durham gets the tackle, brings up 2nd, about 5 for the Bulldogs. Same formation for Grangeville. Wide receiver, 1 to the top of the formation. Smith under center, takes the snap, looks to throw this time, rolls out, has some pressure on him. He's going to toss it up over the top, finds his man. The receiver is number 24, blew it. And Blewett will take it into the end zone. The Bulldogs will go up by 2 scores early in the contest.
And so it goes up 13-0. 5:48 to go in the first quarter.
5:48 to go first quarter. Pending the extra point kick, St. Mary's trails now 13-0 to the Bulldogs. Coming out to kick is Gomez. Made the first extra point. Lumberjacks defense having a little bit of trouble stopping that run game of the Bulldogs early on. Smith to hold, takes the snap, gets it down, kick is up. That's going to be blocked by the Lumberjacks. And it might have been blocked by Durham. So the score is 13-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. 144 in that possession for Grangeville. 49 yards and 4 plays in the touchdowns. Our next senior, Cassia Inson, her parents and guardians, the mother, Carissa Vore, and bonus dad, Eric Vore, and father, Jade Inson. She has 2 years of playing soccer. After high school, Cassia plans to attend Boise State University and pursue a major in psychology. Activities in school include soccer, cheerleading, track and field, ASB, and distinguished young women. Most memorable moment when Amber randomly let her play goalie against Timberlake. Cassia would like to thank her parents, grandparents, Peyton and Conrad for always cheering her on to play her best, her friends and peers for always influencing her to give 100%, her fellow soccer girls and seniors, and last but definitely not least, Coach Amber and Coach Tim for the hours of mentoring, guiding, and inspiring that they put into not only her, but the whole team every single day. Cassia Inson, Lumberjack soccer girl senior. Bulldogs will kick off. It is Gomez. Back deep for the Lumberjacks, Gustav, Brousseau, and Barta. That kick down the middle. Fielded at the 20 by Barta. Barta trying to find some room on that far side. He'll be tripped up near the 40. And we'll see where they place that ball. Lumberjacks will start first and 10. On about the 38, according. No, less than that's about the 37-yard line. St. Mary's down 13-0 to the Bulldogs. 5:36 to go in the first quarter. Lumberjacks come out with a 2-receiver set to the near side, 1 receiver to the top of the formation. Looks like it's a 3-receiver set near side, 1 to the top. Barta in the shotgun. Flanked by Year Out, takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to throw it into the flat to Barta. Barta spins around a couple of tacklers, gets a block, but can't pick up a whole lot of yards there. He'll get about 2 or 3. Nope, they say only to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. So no gain. Bulldog defense so far sniffing out the Lumberjacks playbook at the moment. This time, St. Mary's with 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Year Out, flank to the right of Barta in the pistol, or in the shotgun. Now moves into the left, takes the snap, takes the handoff. Barta flushes to the left, right, going to look deep, looking for his brother down the far sideline, incomplete. Brings up 3rd and long for St. Mary's. Lumberjack offense having a little bit of trouble getting going here this evening. Under 5 to play in the first. St. Mary's trails 13-0 on senior night.
You're listening to Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 AM, St. Mary's, Idaho. North Idaho's classic hits.
Lumberjacks back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top. St. Mary's empty backfield. Barta in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Going to throw it to Gustav in a little bit of a screen play. Gustav going to only pick up about 7.
It's actually going to be short. It's going to be 4th and a long 4 or 5 to go.
Either a 6 or 7 yard pickup for Gustav. I call it 6. And it's 4th and 4 for the Jacks. I don't know that St. Mary's will risk going for it this early in the contest on their own side of the field, but you never know. St. Mary's does show that they're going for it. They don't have their punter out there. Maybe they're going to try to get the Bulldogs off sides. No, they do take the snap, hand it off, and It was handed off to big Russell Brousseau, and Brousseau can't get any room to run. He might have picked up a yard, but the Bulldogs did not fall for it, and the Bulldogs will take over. Bulldog defense being very stingy early on. Now the Lumberjacks defense definitely needs to stop. Lumberjacks don't want to go down 3 scores this early in the contest, so Lumberjack defense needs to come up with a turnover or something here. Bulldogs with one receiver to the top. Quarterback under center. Smith hands it off. And that time the Lumberjacks meet him in the hole. Holst the Lumberjacks with the tackle. No gain on the carry. The ball carrier was number 3. That is Elliott. And I don't know which Lumberjack hit him first, but there was a whole bunch of other guys that got in there as well. Kept that to a no gain. So 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. They're on the Lumberjacks' 45-yard line. One receiver to the top. Smith under center. Smith takes the snap. Hands off. Second man through. No, Smith actually pulls it. Keeps it himself. And he's going to pick up the first down.
James Smith on the end around the quarterback keeper is going to pick up a first down. Grangeville from the...
They'll mark that ball at the 39. No, that's not right. The 39, 34-yard line. 10-yard pickup for the Bulldogs. Lumberjacks had a good stop on that first down. Smith kept that ball, though, as a keeper that time. One receiver to the top. Smith under center takes the snap. First man through. Big hole opens up. It's going to be Elliott. And Elliott is going to sidestep a Lumberjack defender into the end zone. And the Bulldogs are right now rolling on offense. A 34-yard run by Elliott. And St. Mary's sees themselves down by 3 scores early on in this contest. 2:51 to go in the first. 19-0, the Bulldogs lead. Grangeville probably going to go for 2 here. Lumberjack has not, St. Mary's has not found an answer yet for the run game for the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs have a little bit of confusion. They're going to take a timeout. With 2:50 to go.
Grangeville is supposed to call a timeout there with 2:50 left to go in the first quarter.
A little bit of confusion there on their 2-point try for the Bulldogs. Let's take a quick look at another senior for Lumberjack. Oh, did we get through all? We've got through all of our seniors for the soccer program. So we'll get into our senior football players, and starting with senior wide receiver Brock Barta. Parents and guardians, Alex and Nicole Barta, Devin and Charlie Skinner. He has 12 years of playing football. After high school, Brock plans to attend Gonzaga University to study engineering. His activities in school include football, basketball, BPA, and ASB. His most memorable moment, fun times on the bus ride to Orofino his sophomore year. Brock would like to thank his parents for all they do, all of his grandparents, siblings and cousins, all of his teammates, teachers, Coach Hayden, Coach Josh, Coach Bryant, Coach Dennis, Coach Masterson, Coach Coop, Tim, Hamid, and Brandon. He would also like to thank his boys, the group chat, Charlie, Rex, Angelin, and the rest of the city of St. Mary's. That is Lumberjack senior Brock Barta. Now the Bulldogs have things ready to go. One receiver to the top. Quarterback under center for the 2-point try. Smith takes the snap. Hands it off, and it's going to be Elliott, and he'll get it in for the 2-point conversion. The Bulldogs go up 21-0 over the Lumberjacks with 2:47 to go in the first period.
Well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101.
208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump. And we are back. Tough start for the Lumberjacks here tonight on senior night. They are down 21-0 in the first period of play to the Bulldogs. Gomez to kick off for Grangeville. Kickoff is deep. It'll be going to Barta, who's going to get a little reverse action from the 20-yard line to Gustav. And Gustav can't get away. He'll be tackled at the 25-yard line.
You bring it back to about the 27-yard line for the Lumberjacks.
Bulldog defense has been swarming here tonight. That ball going to be at the Lumberjack 25-yard line. Lumberjacks have had nowhere to go and have not been able to get anything going against Grangeville so far. Grangeville in control, 21-0. 4 receivers out for the Lumberjacks. Barta takes snap. He's going to throw it to Gustav. Gustav with the catch. He's going to try to make some room up the middle, and he's going to pick up a decent chunk. He might have about a first down.
And he'll be close to a first down.
See where they decide to mark it. They're going to mark him just shy.
Half a yard shy. Bring up second and short.
Brings up second about 1 for the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks off to a slow start offensively. 1 receiver, 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun has his running back Year Out. Going to hand it off to Year Out. Year Out's going to, I think, get the first down, but that's about it.
First down, he might have gotten it on the tackle by Smith.
Gage Smith with the tackle.
There's another Lumberjack, first down.
Not too many times you see your quarterback for your football team out there playing defense. But Gage Smith is out there for the Bulldogs. Remember, he's a defensive player turned quarterback this year for Grangeville. 4 receiver set for the Lumberjacks. Year Out flank to the right. Takes the snap, does Barta. Looks to throw, rolls out. He's going to find Year Out. And Year Out's going to run right into the tackler after a short pickup.
Tackled by Shoemaker.
Shoemaker broke down perfectly to make that tackle. Picks up 2 yards. Does Year Out. 2nd and 8 for the Lumberjacks as the first quarter winds down. St. Mary's trails 21-0 to the Bulldogs here on senior night in St. Mary's. 4 receivers set again for the Lumberjacks. Barta is in the shotgun, flanked to the left by Year Out. Barta takes the snap, looks to throw, flushes to the right, still directing traffic, and he's going to be slung down and sacked all the way back inside the Lumberjack 30.
It's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
It's going to be a loss of about 7 yards.
3rd and 14, excuse me.
I didn't see who made, I think it was Smith that got the sack. Brings up 3rd and long for St. Mary's. We'll see what they do. It's going to see if they opt to take this to the end of the first period. And it looks like what they'll do. Not the way the Lumberjacks wanted to start here tonight. The Bulldogs, 21 unanswered points in the first period of play. We are going to take a quick break. 21-0 Bulldogs lead. We'll be back.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in.
And we are back. I kind of let that one get away. Didn't want to go to two commercials. I don't know if I had enough time to get 2 of them under our belt. Started in the second quarter. St. Mary's 3rd and long, 3rd and 16 on their own 29-yard line. And they are down to the Bulldogs 21-0 here early in the contest. Tough start tonight for the Lumberjacks. Let's see if they can get something going here. The only problem is they are 3rd and deep right now. 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Year out, flank to the right of Barta. Barta in the shotgun. Barta takes the snap. A little bit low, has to scramble. Oh, what do we have? We're going to get a timeout taken by St. Mary's.
St. Mary's called the timeout.
Which might have saved something there. Barta did a good job of getting back to that ball, but the snap was a little bit off. We'll finish up that last sponsor.
St. Mary's is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
And we are back. St. Mary's comes back out after the timeout. 3 receiver set, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun, flanked by Year Out. Takes the snap, looks to throw, rolls. He's going to just flip it out to Speakman. And Speakman going to get met by a couple of Bulldogs right at the line of scrimmage, not the original line of scrimmage, but the current line of scrimmage. And they'll be 4th down and long for the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks having a tough go here to get things going tonight. Lumberjacks send the punt unit out there. Grayson DeLong to punt. Can't tell who that is for the Bulldogs. It might be number 11. It might be Troy Long. That punt is almost blocked. DeLong does a good job of getting it away. It's going to take a Lumberjack and end up at about the Bulldog 40.
And Grangeville will take over first and 10 at the 40 with 10:55 to go in the first half.
So no return. 10:55 to go in the first half. 21-0. Bulldogs lead St. Mary's, and the Bulldogs will take over on their own 40-yard line, leading the Lumberjacks 21-0. I'm not sure if there was a flag or something on the far side. I think there was a penalty against Grangeville on that punt. So the
penalty on the play. Back to the 35.
Not much of a penalty. It was only gives them. It's only a 5-yard penalty, but it's 1st and 10 on the Bulldog 35-yard line. Let's see if St. Mary's has found a way to stop that Bulldog run game. One receiver to the near side for the Bulldogs. Smith under center. Takes the snap, hands it off again. Elliott, big hole up the middle for Elliott. Takes off that far side, finally brought down.
First down.
Tackled by Brock Barta.
48-yard line. First and 10 Grangeville.
13-yard pickup for Elliott. That run up the middle has been just hurting St. Mary's. They've been able to open up some big lanes. Grangeville has 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs up to their own 48-yard line. One receiver to the near side. Everybody else in tight. Smith under center for Grangeville. Takes the snap. Gonna keep it himself. Gonna look to throw. Looking down the field. He has a guy wide open as the defender fell down. And he's gonna trip and fall himself. His number 11 Long. As he heard footsteps of Gustav tracking him down behind. It's still a big game for the Bulldogs as the first pass is, or maybe the second pass, down to the Lumberjack 33-yard line. First and 10 for Grangeville into St. Mary's territory. Same formation for the Bulldogs. One receiver near side. Smith takes the snap, hands off to Elliott. Big hole opens up. Durham's going to track him down for a short gain.
On the trap again, and we picked up about 5. Second, 5 Grangeville.
Will Durham again on the tackle. Looks like they gave him about 6 on the carry. Little personnel change on defense for the Lumberjacks as Nate George comes out. One receiver to the near side. Smith under center. Smith going to hand it off to the second man. 44 Weckman. He'll be tackled by Kyle Smith.
Pretty close to a first down. Be third and long yard.
Brings up third and a 1 for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs line up with one receiver to the near side. Smith under center, takes the snap, quarterback keeper.
Smith on the quarterback keeper.
Wait to see where they mark the ball. The Bulldog with a helmet that came off, that's the quarterback. And they'll either have to send in a different player or take a timeout.
They're going to get Grangeville the first down.
So Grangeville gets the first down. So going in for the Bulldogs is Luke Stark, it looks like. Maybe not going in at quarterback, but Gage has to come off for a play. Grangeville taking their time getting the play call in. They get the play to Troy Long. He might take the quarterback duties for the play. Grangeville would rather not burn a timeout here. And instead,
and a flag on the play.
They'll get a delay of game. And that'll back up the Bulldogs, but it'll also let their quarterback come into the game, I think. And he's still standing out here like maybe he can't go back in yet, but well, I guess he still can, maybe because they haven't had a full play, actual play. So Long stays in there. He's under center. One receiver to the near side. Long's just going to keep it. Quarterback keep up the middle. Looks like he picked up a couple. Can come back in.
Picks up 4 yards. Second.
Picked up about a yard on that carry. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, might have picked up a few more than I gave him credit for. It looks like second about 11 for the Bulldogs. They are at the Lumberjack 24-yard line. No, that is not the 24-yard line. That is the 14-yard line. Going to get a run to the near side. Spins off of a tackle, does Shoemaker, and he's going to take it into the end zone.
Just score a touchdown.
Seven 14-yard run for Shoemaker, and the Bulldogs pouring it on, so to speak, here on senior night. The score now 27-0 in favor of Grangeville. St. Mary's has not had an answer for the Bulldog run game. Gomez to kick for the Bulldogs. Oh, that's a bad snap. Picking it up and run with it is Gage Smith, and he's just going to take it in for the 2-point conversion.
7:30 to go in the half.
Nobody covered him as the bad snap bobbled into Smith, and he was able to get up and run that around the edge. That drive for the Bulldogs, 7 plays, 60 yards, took 3 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock. The Bulldogs lead 29-0 over the Lumberjacks here with 7:30 to go in the first half. Our next senior is Jack Barta. His parents are Alex and Nicole Barta, Devin and Charlie Skinner. 12 years of playing football for Jack. After high school, he plans to attend Gonzaga University to study engineering. His activities in school include football, basketball, DPA and ASB. Most memorable moment is talks with Russell on the football bus his sophomore year. Jack would like to thank his parents for everything they do. He would like to also thank Hayden, Bryant, Dennis, Josh, Donnie, Cooper, Becky, Brandon, Tim, Hammy, his grandparents, his teammates, his boys, his O-line, Charlie, and Camden. Lumberjack senior Jack Barda. Kickoff for the Bulldogs is going to be Gomez, of course. Back deep for the Lumberjacks, Gustav, Brousseau, and Barda. Kickoff on the way. It'll be fielded at the 20 by Brock Barda. A little stutter step at the 30. There's a flag.
You got a flag on the play.
Maybe at about the 33-yard line.
Be a block in the back on St. Mary's to push it back 10 more yards.
It'll be a block in the back by Lumberjack, so it'll move St. Mary's back. I don't think it's going to move them back that far. The end of play, I think, is where that will come from. Looks like the ball is going to be marked at the 24-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lumberjacks on their own 24. One receiver near side, one to the top of the formation. Barta goes under center. High backs behind him. Man goes in motion. Stewart from right to left. Barta takes the snap. Barta pitches it out to Year Out. Picks up about 2 or 3 yards.
Second and 6 Lumberjacks.
Maybe 4. The ball's going to be at the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. St. Mary's has not yet been into Grangeville territory tonight. 2nd and 7 for the Lumberjacks. Maybe 2nd and 6. One receiver near side, one to the top. Barta under center, eye backs behind him, takes the snap. Handoff first man through, and Chris Brousseau gets blown up.
Chris Brousseau on the dive play. A little short there. Minimal gain to none. Be 3rd. 6 or 7.
So no gain for the Bulldog for the Lumberjacks. Brings up 3rd and 7. Or 3rd and 6. 6:15 to go in the first half here on senior night. 29-0 Lumberjacks trail the Bulldogs. 4 receiver set. Barta takes the snap, looks to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Evades the one defender. He's going to find his brother across the 40. First down, St. Mary's. Big tackle by Shoemaker. But Lumberjacks get a first down there on 3rd and long. It's a 14-yard pickup. Jack Barta did a good job of evading the pressure. The Bulldog that got pressure on him slipped in the backfield faithfully as he evaded him. 4 receiver set for the Jacks. Barta takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to have the quick throw over the middle to Gustav. Gustav, little shake and bake, gets the defender to fall down, takes it down across the end of Bulldog territory down to the 41, 42-yard line. Another Lumberjack first down. Call it the 42. 1st and 10 for St. Mary's. First time into Bulldog territory. Lumberjacks are going to have a lot of work to do to dig themselves out of this hole. 4 receiver set for St. Mary's. Man goes in motion from right to left. That's Brock Barta. Takes the snap. Brock looking to throw. Jack looks to throw. Finds Brock. Brock had to come back to that ball a little bit. They're going to give him, I think, a little bit of forward progress there. Oops. Jack.
2nd and long Lumberjacks.
Jack can't throw it to himself. You're going to give him a 1-yard pickup there. Brings up 2nd and 9 for St. Mary's at the Bulldog 41-yard line. Four receiver set once again. I know, 4 receivers, 3 to the bottom, 1 to the top for St. Mary's. Barta takes the snap, looks to throw. Going to scramble, looking to that far side. Going to get the edge, step out of bounds.
Barta will keep it off the left side, go out of bounds for a short gain. Will be third.
They're going to mark that at about the 39-yard line. Couple yard pickup for Jack on the scramble. Brings up 3rd and 7 or so. Time ticking down here in the the second quarter. St. Mary's trails 29-0. Bulldogs had 21 unanswered in the first quarter. Scored once here in the second quarter. St. Mary's has been their longest possession so far. 3 receivers near side, 1 to the top. Barta in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to throw. Going to look over the middle, or not over the middle, going to look to the far side to long. It's incomplete.
4th down Lumberjacks.
4th down and 7 for the Jacks. Bulldog side of the field, St. Mary's kind of forced. I mean, they're on Bulldog territory, so I would expect them to go for it anyways, but they're more forced with the score the way it is at the moment to definitely go for this, as it's 4th and long. Five receiver set for St. Mary's. Going to spread that defense out for the Bulldogs. Jack Barta in the shotgun. Jack takes the snap. He's going to look to throw. Flushes to his near side, directing traffic. Still going to keep it. And he's not going to be able to get very far. I don't even know if he got to the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to throw it to. Everybody ends up covered. Good coverage by the Bulldogs. And the ball will be marked at about the 36 of Grangeville. So a 3-yard pickup, but the Lumberjacks needed 7. 4:10 to go in the first half of play. And the Bulldogs, defense stymies the Lumberjack offense on the Bulldog side of the field. Grangeville will take over 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line. Bulldogs have 1 receiver to the near side, everybody else in tight. Couple of running backs in the backfield. Smith under center. Smith takes the snap, hands it off to Elliott. Elliott, a big hole opens up in the middle again. He just sheds tackles. It's finally going to be brought down, as I think it was Harold who gets to him, but it's going to be a 1st down for the Bulldogs. St. Mary's has not come up with an answer defensively for the Bulldogs' run attack. 1st and 10 up to the 46, 47-yard line of Grangeville. Again, 1 receiver to the near side. Bulldogs aren't going to throw it unless you force them to, and St. Mary's ain't forcing them to throw just yet. Snap. Going to be a reverse. No, it's a handoff up the middle this time. A little bit of trickeration in the backfield. DeGravio in there on the tackle.
Elliott with the inside key, picks up about 1.5 yards.
Elliott
long Grangeville
with the carry once again. He has been the recipient of most of the carries for Grangeville. But you can't tee off on one guy because that's when they hand off on the next guy to the other guy. 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs. This time they're going to throw. Going to look down the sideline, and wide open was the number 12 of Told, but the pass is dropped as it squirts out of his hands. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs have that run game that just lulls you to sleep, and then they're going to throw it out of it. And a little bit of pressure on the quarterback, but not a lot that time. Almost was a hold on the far side as one of the Bulldog players pulled the Lumberjack defender down. Going to get a snap, going to look double handoff, finding some room to run, and he's going to pick up the 1st down as Schumacher. About 11 or 12-yard pickup. The tackle going to be by, again, one of the guys getting in there was Kyle Smith. A couple of other Lumberjacks helping with that tackle. 1st and 10 for Grangeville up to the Lumberjack 41-yard line. I think that was one of the first third downs St. Mary's had really held them to. 3rd and long, and Bulldogs get out of it. One receiver near side. Bulldogs, Smith under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw. He's got some pressure. They're going to force that pressure past it. Oh, it's caught. The coverage was there, but the catch was made by Schumacher. St. Mary's had some pressure on him. I think it was Dylan. Gentry getting into the backfield. But that pass is going to be all the way down to the 1 of St. Mary's. I think the tackle was made by Brock Barta. Man, Grangeville back into scoring territory. Flushed that quarterback out of his comfort zone and made a nice throw. Bulldogs take the snap, hand it off to Elliott. Elliott met in the backfield.
Elliott stood up in the hole. Might have lost a yard there.
Not sure who made the tackle. I think he lost a yard, though, on that carry. Thought it might have been a Motto Stewart at first, but I'm not sure. Brings up 2nd goal from the 2-yard line. One receiver to the near side. Smith under center, takes the snap. He's going to keep it, gets flushed back, and he's going to go backwards. Stewart on the tackle.
To the 3rd goal from the 8-yard line, 9-yard line. And Grangeville's going to take a timeout.
Grangeville takes a timeout. Bulldogs going backwards. 1:25 to go in the half. Grangeville leads 29-0 over the Lumberjacks. And they were on the 1-yard line. They've backed up since then. Our next senior on the senior night program for the Lumberjack football team, Russell Brousseau. His parents, Dustin and Rebecca Brousseau, 12 years of playing football for Russell. After high school, he plans to work in the woods. Activities in school include baseball, wrestling, football, and BPA. His most memorable moment, the bus ride to Aberdeen his freshman year. Russell would like to thank Josh, Hayden, Denny, Coop, his mom and dad, his grandma and grandpa Brousseau, his grandpa and grandma Dockery, his aunts and uncles, Jacob, cousins, his friends, the boys, Bryant, Donnie, and Debo. That is Lumberjack senior Russell Brousseau. After the timeout, it's 3rd and goal from the 9 for the Bulldogs with 1:25 to go before halftime. Grangeville leads at 29-0 over the Lumberjacks. Very, very tough first half for St. Mary's so far. One receiver to the near side. Man goes in motion, hands it off. Bull Lumberjacks read that one. Dylan Gentry with the tackle in the backfield. I believe that was Schumacher with the run that time. I think if Dylan Gentry that tackle, I'm pretty sure it was him that came blowing through there. I don't think it's 4th and 21 to go. Ball was on the 12, so it's fourth and goal from the 12 is what it is. St. Mary's took a timeout there with 1:12 to go. Leaves the Lumberjacks with one timeout. Grangeville with one timeout. Let's see what Grangeville decides to do here. They've got a pretty good kicker. You're up 29-0 at the end of the first half. You could just let your kicker go out there and try to kick a field goal. But the Bulldogs look like they're going to go for the end zone. This time they have a different look for the Lumberjacks. It's a 4-receiver set. Smith goes into the pistol, or shotgun. Takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to go across the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Thrown a little bit low, intended for long, and the Lumberjacks will take over. First possession that St. Mary's has been able to hold the Bulldogs out of the end zone. And that was just a low throw, so not really any defender or tackle going on there. So St. Mary's will take over 1st and 10 at their own 12. They've got 88 yards to go in 1:08 with one timeout. So see what St. Mary's can do. If they could turn this into a score, they get the ball to start the second half, take a little bit of momentum into the second half as we're into that. Yeah. 4 receiver set. Barta looks to throw. Flushed out of his pocket. He's going to scramble forward, picks up a couple of yards. And I think he's going to force St. Mary's to have to burn their last timeout. 1 yard. St. Mary's not going to take the timeout yet. They're quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 4 receiver set. Barta takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to find his brother Brock here on the near side. Brock's going to get out of bounds at about the 20. Actually, about the 21-yard line.
Barta, get out of bounds with 42 seconds left in the ball.
About an 8-yard pickup for the Lumberjacks. Brings up 3rd and 1. 4 receiver set for the Lumberjacks. Snap. Barta looks to throw. He's going to flush to this near side, directs traffic. He needs to get rid of that, and he's not going to. He's going to get pushed out of bounds, which will be technically a sack. Gage Smith got him. About a 4-yard loss there. Surprised Barta didn't just throw that out of bounds and make it 4th down. St. Mary's going to end up taking their last time out here, too, 4th and long.
St. Mary's calls a timeout.
38 seconds on the clock. Lumberjacks take a timeout.
You're listening to Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 AM, St. Mary's, Idaho. North Idaho's classic hits.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. That's auto.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. The services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in park, right?
37.6 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. 29-0 Lumberjacks trail the Bulldogs. St. Mary's 4th and 5 on their own 17-yard line. St. Mary's needs somewhat of a miracle on this play. Going to get the throw to Gustav, and Gustav drops the pass.
It'll get turnover on down. 34 seconds left to go on the hand.
Incomplete. That one just slipped out of Gustav's hands, and that's one of those times where you have a lot of pressure on you right now because you feel like you got to make something happen with the way that the score is and the way things have gone so far. St. Mary's has just had a tough first half of action. Bulldogs will have 34 seconds on the clock, 1 time out. So I would expect to see the Bulldogs probably throw it here because they don't have a lot of time to stop the clock. They might run it once, and they are going to. Elliott gets tackled by... The tackle was made by Cody Mitchell for a loss of a yard. And the Bulldogs take their last timeout with 27 seconds on the clock. So we've got senior night tonight, so we've been reading seniors off of the senior spotlight or the senior pamphlet. We won't have an actual senior spotlight interview tonight just because of all of the seniors we're going through. We're recognizing all of them this evening, so we'll give you some more of those seniors in our halftime as well as a little stats. Right now we're sitting at 2nd 11 for Grangeville on the Lumberjack 18-yard line. Grangeville has scored on all of their possessions except for one. St. Mary's has only made it across into Grangeville territory once. So the defense for Grangeville playing well. The offense for Grangeville firing on all cylinders, and St. Mary's having a little bit of a trouble finding their rhythm here this evening. Now, with no timeouts, I expect the Bulldogs to probably try to use this time to take at least 3 shots to the end zone, or 2 shots, second down. So probably some passing here, maybe from Smith. We'll see. Smith under center, takes the snap. He's going to roll to the near side, looks to throw. Coverage is there, and he's just going to miss his intended receiver. Good coverage on the guys running towards the end zone. The intended receiver was number 12, Told, and it was just out of his reach, incomplete. Brings up third. I didn't see he was on coverage. 3rd and 11 for the Bulldogs. Back on their own 8, or on the Lumberjack. And it's more like at the 20-yard line. This time they come out with a 3-receiver set. Smith in the center, 2 receiver in the pistol, 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to escape 1 sack. Now he's just going to flip it, and it's actually completed.
It's knocked out of bounds.
It was completed
Down, and about 6 to go.
To Elliott, and he picks up a few yards. I think it was DeGravio who knocks him out of bounds. Kyle Smith, I think, came over there as well. 4th and about 8. Lumberjacks defensive ends were dragging Smith to the ground, and he was able to just get his hands free to flip that ball forward. I don't know why Grangeville, they had a lot of time in the huddle with their coach right there, almost like a timeout. 4 receiver set for Grangeville. Smith in the pistol. 4th and 9, and we get a delay of game as the Bulldogs took too long. Brings up 4th and 14 for the Bulldogs. Moves the ball back to the 22-yard line. Bulldogs come back out with a 3-receiver set this time. Smith takes the snap, looks to throw. Oh, he gets hit right as he unloads that ball. It's going to be picked by St. Mary's. Brock Barta returning it the other way. Let's see if he can find some blockers. He can't. He'll be taken down at about the 25. I don't know who the intended receiver was over there.
Fouls against St. Mary's.
Intercepted by Barta. Barta brings it out to about the 25.
1st and 10. St. Mary's from the 12-yard line.
With 4 seconds on the clock, the penalty will push the ball back to the 12. So St. Mary's will be 1st and 10 with 3.7 seconds on the clock. See, if the Lumberjacks can force Grangeville to have to throw the ball, St. Mary's could put pressure on them, but the Bulldogs have a good lead right now. So in the second half, they don't have a need to want to throw it, at least to start with. There's going to be a throw to DeLong. Little pitch back to Barta. Barta gets the edge, but he's not going to get much further. He'll take it across to 30, and that's where we'll finish up the first quarter. So that'll be at about the 32-yard line, we'll call it. And that'll end the half. St. Mary's trails 29-0 to the Bulldogs here at halftime on senior night. We'll take a break. We'll come back.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night, or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff, and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
And we are back. It is halftime here at Lumberjack Field on senior night. A tough start to the night for the Lumberjacks. They trail 29-0 to the Bulldogs at halftime. Before we get into some halftime numbers, let's take a look at a few more of our senior football players here on senior night. First off, Colin DeGravio. His parents and guardians, Tony DeGravio and Shirley Connor. Colin has 4 years of football. Colin plans to go to NIC and study HVAC after high school. His activities in school include football, golf, and BPA. His most memorable moment, fun times on the bus rides. Colin would like to thank his sister, Grandma, RJ, and Melissa Offerman, his friends, his girlfriend Paige, and his dad for supporting him through everything. That is St. Mary's Lumberjack senior Colin DeGravio. Our next senior, Grayson DeLong. His parents, Cheyenne Pierce and Asa Pierce. He has 5 years of playing football. He would, after high school, he plans to attend tech school to be an electrician or go to the Navy. Activities in school, football, shop, and math. His most memorable moment is first career reception for St. Mary's, being a 44-yard touchdown. Grayson would like to thank his brother Tyler, his aunt, his uncle, his coaches, and his teammates. That is Lumberjack senior Grayson DeLong. And one more senior, William Durham. His parents and guardians, Dustin and Nicole Durham. He has 9 years of playing football. After high school, he plans to do construction with his dad. And in high school, His activities are football. His most memorable moment, beating Kellogg. He would like to thank his family for their support and coaches and teammates for helping him have a fun senior year at a new school. St. Mary's Lumberjack senior, William Durham. Now let's take a look at some stats, team stats for St. Mary's in Grangeville. First down comparison, St. Mary's has only recorded 4 first downs in the first half. The Bulldogs, 15 first downs. Grangeville, 2 of 8 on third downs. St. Mary's, 1 of 9 on third downs. St. Mary's 0 for 3 on fourth downs. And Grangeville, it says 0 for 2 on fourth downs. That might be accurate. The Bulldogs piled up the yards in that first half. They put up 259 yards on the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's with just 77 total yards. In the passing game, St. Mary's has 78 yards. The Bulldogs with 81 yards. Grangeville is 4 of 8 throwing the ball. St. Mary's 10 of 14. On the ground, St. Mary's Grangeville 178 yards on the ground. St. Mary's sitting at -1 in the ground game tonight so far. Penalties, a little bit off because I haven't put them all into the stats, but 2 for 14 for St. Mary's, 2 for 10 for the Bulldogs. And this says 2 turnovers. That's not right. Grangeville does not have any turnovers tonight. No fumbles lost, no interceptions thrown, so I don't know why that's showing as, 1 interception. That's right. The Bulldogs did throw 1 interception. That was right there at the end of the first half. So St. Mary's has that 1 interception. Time of possession, it says if that's anywhere close, Grangeville has scored pretty quickly in their possession, so it might be right. 12:45 for the Bulldogs, 23:07 for the Lumberjacks. That's a look at the team stats. Let's take a look at the individual stats, starting with Grangeville. Gage Smith, 4 of 8 passing, 81 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. On the ground game, Hollis Elliott, 14 carries for 126 yards and a touchdown. Tate Schumacher has 5 carries for 32 yards and a touchdown. Parker Pooley, 1 carry for 9 yards. Gage Smith, 4 carries for 5 yards and a touchdown. Cody Weckman, 1 carry for 4 yards. Troy Long, 1 for 2. On the receiving side, Tate Shoemaker with 1 reception for 40 yards. Gavin Blewett with 1 reception for 20 yards and a touchdown. Troy Long, 1 reception for 19 yards. Hollis Elliott, 1 reception for 2 yards. And really, that's about it for individual stats. Gage Smith has a couple of sacks for the Bulldogs defensively. Looking over, whoops, I just left my program altogether, which does me no good. Get back to where I need to be. So St. Mary's individually, Jack Barta, 10 of 14 for 78 yards. St. Mary's has not been able to hit anything deep. They've had a lot of short passes, a couple of 10-yard gains, but they haven't had a lot of stuff opening up for them in the passing game or the run game. Aiden Yearout, 4 carries for 4 yards. Russell Brousseau, 1 carry for 1 yard. Chris Brousseau, 1 carry for no yards. And Jack Barta, it counts sacks in there out against the run game. So 5 carries, -6 yards for Barta, for Jack Barta. Receiving, Brock Barta, 5 receptions for 40. Isaiah Gustav has 3 catches for 32 yards. Yearout, a catch for 2 yards. Speakman, a catch for 1 yard. Looking at defense, Brock Barta with 4 tackles. Jackson Harold with 3. Amato Stewart with 2. Kyle Smith with 2. Colin Santiago Pranzato. Grayson Stoff. Dylan Gentry. Cody May with a tackle. And the tackle stats, defensive stats, of course, are unofficial. So that's a look at your numbers. We'll take a break and come back and get a couple of more seniors introduced here on our halftime show. 6:07 to go in the halftime break. 29-0 Bulldogs lead at halftime here at Lumberjack Field.
Sometimes you never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Working a turn for that friendly hand of support. Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports.
For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation, 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjacks!
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. And we are back. It is halftime here at Lumberjack Field. It is 3:13 to go in the halftime break, and St. Mary's trails 29-0 to the Bulldogs. The Lumberjacks will get the second half kickoff. Next senior, Isaiah Gustav. Parents and guardians, Alicia and Ron Gesnet. He has 10 years of playing football. After high school, Isaiah plans to attend college to run track and study business. Activities in school, track, basketball, football, and BPA. Most memorable moment, taking an 80-yard kick return to the crib against Kellogg. Isaiah would like to thank his family, his friends, his teachers, his teammates, and his coaches. Our next senior is Caden Morris. His parents are Corey Morris and Monica Spray. Years of playing, 7. Caden plans to make money after high school. Activities in school include football and baseball. His most memorable moment is beating Kellogg. Caden would like to thank his dad and mom, his grandma and grandpa, Cody Mitchell, and all the boys. That is Lumberjack senior Caden Morris. Our next senior, he is out of Kootenai High School, Michael Nyman. His parents and guardians, Inka and Dan Walker, 7 years of playing football. After high school, he plans to attend an out-of-state college to pursue a degree. His activities in school include football, wrestling, and track. His most memorable moment, coming to play for St. Mary's to be a part of a bigger team. Michael would like to thank his mom for her support and encouragement, his coaches for their help making him a better player, his friends, family, and community for keeping him motivated to succeed. Senior Michael Nyman. And we've still got 6 seniors to go through. Okay, make that 8 seniors to go through. Still got 8 more seniors to go through, but we've only got 1:19 until we get the second half underway. And St. Mary's in a big hole, 29-0. They travel the Bulldogs. They are going to need to strike first and strike fast if they want to make a comeback here in the second half. They will get the opening half kickoff to start the second half, which it doesn't look like my program is showing that here. It looks like it's showing the ball to be St. Mary's kicking it off, so we'll fix that. Like I said, St. Mary's, they're going to need some things definitely to bounce their way in the second half. It's a big deficit. Grangeville scored 3 times in the first quarter. St. Mary's able to hold them to just 1 touchdown in the second quarter, which is nice, but those 3 in the first half those 3 in the first quarter really hurt the Lumberjacks as far as just being in a deep hole to get things going. The Bulldogs Like I said, we'll be kicking off. Bulldogs will kick right to left. And St. Mary's will have
All right. Action here with St. Mary's.
Gustav and Brousseau waiting to return the kick. It'll be the number 37 of Gomez to kick off for the Bulldogs. Gomez, I think they said, was a sophomore that got brought up to do the kicking for the varsity team. He's been pretty solid kicking the ball tonight. So the Bulldogs line the ball up on the 40. Gomez lines up the Bulldogs, and we are underway here in the third. Kick is on the way. It's going to be picked up at the 18 by Gustav. Gustav bounces around across the 25. And that's where St. Mary's will start.
Jackson take over at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10.
Okay, we got to fix this because something's not right here. Lumberjacks have a bad snap. Year out's going to get on it.
Bad snap to Barra, recovered by Year out. It's going to push the Lumberjacks back about 10 yards.
Bad snap. That'll put St. Mary's back at the 15, it looks like. Second and 23 for St. Mary's. High snap, handoff to Year out. Year out tries to bounce to the outside. He's still on his feet, but I think he's going to lose a few more yards on that run, and the defense for the Bulldogs is just coming out fired up and ready to play here in the second half. 2-yard loss to Year out. Brings up 3rd and long for the Lumberjacks deep on their own side of the field, on their own 13-yard line. St. Mary's looks like they're going to empty the backfield. Come out with a 5-receiver set. 3 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. Has some time. He's going to look over the middle. Intended for to Speakman. Speakman hit right as the ball hits him, and it'll be incomplete. Good defense by the Bulldogs. I think a little bit of a grumble out of the crowd there, but that was just perfect defense by the Bulldogs there on coverage as they put the hit on Marcus right as that ball hit him in the hands and jarred that ball loose. So St. Mary's 3 and out to start the second half, not the start they wanted in the second half of the contest. Grayson DeLong will punt. He'll be right at the edge of his goal line. Takes the snap, low snap, gets it away, but it's going to be a very favorable punt to the Bulldogs. Will Durham will grab it at the 25-yard line.
Durham Jackson, after it takes a Greensfield bounce, Greensfield will start on their own 25-yard line. 1st and 10.
No return. The Bulldogs have great starting field position for their first possession of the second half. As I said, things have gone not in favor of the Lumberjacks tonight. They've just not been able to get their offense rolling. Defense has had a hard time with this run game of Grangeville. 1st and 10 for Grangeville on the Lumberjack 25. 1 receiver near side. Smith under center. Bulldogs can go back to their run game now if they don't feel like they need to try to throw it. A little bit of a hard count there. St. Mary's really showing some pressure to try to get in there to stop the run, and that'll be a quarterback keeper.
Smith with the keeper. Looks like about 7 yards on 2nd and 3.
It'll be about a 6 or 7 yard pickup on the quarterback keeper up the middle by Gage Smith. 2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs break the huddle, coming up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver near side, Smith under center. 2 running backs in the backfield. One's lined up behind him. One's flanked off to the left. Man goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff. Running back's going to be met in the hole. That's Elliott.
All us on the inside, Keith. Just a little shy of the first down.
Going to get that down to about the 16-yard line. And a whole host of Lumberjacks in there to stop him. 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs. Another run up the middle maybe for Grangeville here as it's 3rd and short. It might be a keeper by the quarterback, Gage Smith. Oh, Gage flinched there. I don't know how that's not how that's legal because he flinched towards the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a handoff. That's to Pooley. Pooley finds room to run and is going to be down to the end zone. Touchdown, Grangeville. Again, I don't know how that's legal, though, that the quarterback flinched towards the line of scrimmage there. You would think that would be a false start, but they didn't call it. So Gomez will line up to kick an extra point attempt for the Bulldogs. As Grangeville goes up 35-0 over St. Mary's. The snap, the hold, it's down. It's good on the kick. And the Bulldogs lead 36-0 over the Lumberjacks here with 8:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. 3 plays, 25 yards, and a touchdown for Grangeville on their first possession of the second half. Our next senior, Riley Porter. His parents are Stephanie Norton. 2 years of playing football. After high school, Riley plans to attend trade school to acquire certification to become a pipe welder. Activities in school, football, basketball, construction, and welding. His most memorable moment being surrounded by so many incredible people over the years who have helped shape who he is today. Riley would like to thank his mom, his brothers, Nana, Uncle Bob, and everyone who has been there to support him. St. Mary's Lumberjack senior Riley Porter. Our next senior will be Santiago Prinzada, and we will take care of him in here in a little bit. Right now, we've got to take care of a kickoff from the Bulldogs. Lumberjacks night not getting any easier so far. Gomez going to kick off for the Bulldogs.
Tonight's 50-50 wins $109. 762-5109. 762-5109. Go to the concession stand if you want.
The kick is up. It'll be fielded at the 15 by Gustav. Gustav trying to find some room near side. Does a little stutter step through the hole. Finds some room. Gets a decent return.
35-yard line. First and 10
Bring that up to about the 34, 33. Looks like they're going to actually mark it right at the 35-yard line. 20-yard gain on the return by Gustav. 8:29 to go in the 3rd. St. Mary's sees that lead increase by Grangeville, 36-0. Looks like Jackson Harold heading off the sideline. I don't know if he lost his shoe or something. Maybe he's just not in on this play, I think is what it is. St. Mary's comes out with a 2-receiver set. Pistol for Barta. Hands off to Year Out. And Year Out loses a couple of yards. Nothing is working for St. Mary's offensively this evening. They are not. Bulldogs are just reading everything the Lumberjacks are going to do. Even some of the plays that St. Mary's hasn't ran this year, really. I don't recall seeing that set for St. Mary's very often already this year. So Grangeville has St. Mary's number this evening. 1 receiver to the top, 2 receivers to the bottom. Barta looks like he's going to be in the pistol, flanked by Year Out. Takes the snap. That's high. Barta is able to pick it up off of a tip. Off of his own hands. He's going to scramble. Tries to find. He'll be brought down and sacked at the 30.
Did a good job to catch the snap and loses a couple on the play.
Just because he took off running doesn't make that not a sack. Didn't see who made the sack for the Bulldogs. 3rd and about 15 now for St. Mary's. Jack did a good job of being able to pull that bad snap down. He got it tipped up, turned around, got it into his hands. By that time, he'd kind of thrown everything off on the play. So it's 3rd and long for St. Mary's. Everything's just going wrong for the Jacks this evening. 4 receivers set, 2 to each side. Barta takes the snap again, a little bit high. Able to pull it down. He's flushed out of the pocket, looking for somewhere to get the ball out to. He finds Gustav. Gustav will take it up just across the original line of scrimmage up to about the 41-yard line.
Jacks would be about 4 yards short of a first down.
It's going to be about an 11-yard pickup. About 4th and 4 for St. Mary's. They're in go-for-it territory. They don't have a choice at this point in time of the game. They have to go for it in their own territory. 6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. They trail 36-0 to the Bulldogs. 4th and manageable at least. I mean, that's all you can ask for really on that play, especially with the high snap and Jack able to pull that thing down and find an open Gustav to get it to. 4 receivers set again for St. Mary's. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Barta in the pistol. Flank to the right by Eater out. Trying to get the Bulldogs to snap. To jump. They don't. He's going to look for somebody to throw the ball to. Now he's flushed. He's just going to get rid of it, which it really didn't matter too much. It'll be a turnover on downs. Barta got flushed, had nowhere to go with the ball, had pressure in his face, and didn't want to take the sack, obviously, and give Grangeville a few more yards on the turnover on downs, but Bulldogs still take over. They're in Lumberjack territory. 1st and 10 on the Lumberjack 41-yard line. Bulldogs in the huddle. One receiver near side, Smith under center for Grangeville. Smith takes the snap, hands it off to Elliott. Elliott, first man to get, actually the only man to get him is going to be Amato Stewart. Amato had him right at the line of scrimmage, but Elliott, using all the power in his legs that he could, he ends up picking up about 4 yards as Stewart had to, or more than that, about 5, 6. Stewart had to kind of release his grip and re-grab to try to bring Elliott down. And that gave Elliott a little bit of a head of steam there to pick up 6 yards. 2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs, up to the Lumberjack 34-yard line. Same formation for the Bulldogs. 1 receiver near side. Smith under center. Takes a snap. He's going to keep it. Keeps them legs churning. He's still up. It's taken a whole host of Lumberjacks to bring him down. That ball will be inside the 30. About the 28-yard line. Took a whole host of Lumberjacks jumping on his back to bring him down. 1st and 10 for Grangeville at about the Lumberjack 27-yard line. This is a very powerful run game of the Bulldogs. 1 receiver to the near side. Smith under center. Takes the snap. Hands it off. That's the number 44 of Weckman running the far side. He'll pick it up down to the 15 or so. He'll be tackled by Brousseau. Russell Brousseau. But not before a Bulldog, I think, first down on a 12-yard pickup. There's a name that sticks in my head of number 44, and I think it's Poxleitner who used to wear that number for the Bulldogs. 1 receiver to the near side. Smith under center. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff one way, coming back the other direction. And that is number 3, I believe it's Elliott. There's a flag on the play. DeGravio with the tackle.
On the run by first and 20.
So it's holding, I believe, on the Bulldogs. So it's going to be first and 20 for Grangeville. As they'll back that one up to the 26 or so yard line. So Lumberjacks get a little bit of a break in the way of a penalty from Grangeville. Again, Bulldogs with that same look. One receiver to the near side. Smith is under center. It's got one running back lined up behind him. Weckman flanked off to the left. Going to take the snap. Bull, he's going to roll out to throw. Looking deep. And it's just incomplete. Intended for Heitzman. As well as the run game has worked for Grangeville, even though it's first and 20, I was kind of surprised to see them take a shot through the air. St. Mary's, just about every time Grangeville has thrown it, has gotten some pressure in the backfield. So see what the Bulldogs draw up here. See if they go back to the run game, being second and 20. Back on the Lumberjack 26-yard line. This time the Bulldogs are just going to spread the offense out. 4 receivers set. Smith in the shotgun, flanked to the far side by the number 24 of Blewett. Smith takes the snap. Going to look to throw. I think it's a screen. St. Mary's didn't fall for it very well. Blewett with the catch.
Ball gets back to just back.
Durham, I believe, with the tackle. A couple yard pickup there by the Bulldogs. Brings up third and about 19. So St. Mary's didn't fall for the screenplay there. Bulldogs going to spread them out again. 4 receivers set, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Blewett flanked to the right of Smith. Smith in the pistol. Takes the snap. Looks to throw. Has a man in the middle. Going to make the catch. Tackled by Stewart, I believe. No, it was Harold. Catch by Pooley, I think. No, that's a number 18. I don't have an 18.
Range will be about 4th and 10.
So the catch was made. Oh, I do have an 18. That's Max McGregor. The ball was caught up at the 16-yard line. Tackled by Harold. Bulldogs are 4th and long. Going to the go for it. Looking to throw. Oh, and Lumberjacks. Brock Barta came up way too hard on that receiver.
And Grangeville scores.
And the throw over the top to number 24 of Blewett into the end zone. Not exactly sure what happened there with that coverage for the Lumberjacks. I don't know if Jack or if Brock was on him, but he ran right past him as Blewett ran to the end zone on his route. Bulldogs go up 42-0. That could induce a running clock. St. Mary's may have just jumped off sides.
Offsides on St. Mary's.
So that'll move the ball closer to the end zone and see if the Bulldogs opt to go for it here for the 2-point try, or if they're just going to, I think they're just going to keep the kicker out there, Gomez. Again, St. Mary's has only been into the Bulldog side of the field once this season. Gomez to kick, Smith to hold. The kick is on the way. It's up and good.
And the PAT by Gomez is up and good.
So 2:05 to go in the third. 7 plays, 41 yards, and touchdown for the Bulldogs. They lead it 43-0 over St. Mary's. Our next senior, Santiago Prinzada, Santiago. His guardians are Nancy and Douglas McKelvey. He has 1 year of playing football. After high school, he plans to go back to Italy to finish school and attend a university. Activities in school, soccer, football, and track. His most memorable moment, his first touchback during a home game. Santiago would like to thank his host family, Jack, Brock, Tatham, Alan, Colin, Isaiah, and Grace. That is senior and exchange student Santiago Prinzada. The next senior, Tatham Prayer. His parents are Eli and Aja Prayer. He has 2 years of playing football. After high school, he plans to attend the University of Idaho for a degree in chemical engineering. Activities in school, ASB, football, baseball, and BPA. His most memorable moment was beating Kellogg. Tatham would like to thank everyone with a big thanks to his mom, dad, brother, and his good friend, Texas John Keneally III. That is Tatham Prayer. And we get ready for the kickoff as Gomez kicks off for the Bulldogs. It's going to be kind of a short kick. Jackson Harold will fall on it at about the 28-yard line.
The ball at the 28-yard line for St. Lumberjacks. It's 10 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
2 minutes exactly to go in the third. Whoops, not 20. First and 10 for St. Mary's. Now, the running clock, I don't know if it starts until the fourth quarter, but 4 receivers set for St. Mary's, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun. Maybe it's the pistol, flanked by Yearout, takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to get it out to the flat to his brother, Brock. Brock gets to the edge, and looks like he's going to be close to a first down on the catch and run. Looks like they're going to mark him just short at about 37 or so. Pickup of 9. Second and 1 for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks have only gotten into Bulldog territory once tonight. Bulldogs defense has just snuffed the Lumberjack run game. 4 receivers set for the Lumberjacks. Man in motion. Going to have that sweep play to this near side. Harold is going to find some blocks, still on his feet, all the way down to the 40.
Harold on the end round, their first down.
He'll pick up a first down. Looks like across the 40, might be at about the 41, a 4-yard pickup for Jackson Harold. St. Mary's first and 10. One receiver to the near side for the Jacks. 2 receivers top of the formation. Barta in the pistol, flanked by Yearout to the right, or the left. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw, has some pressure, is able to escape that. We're going to get a flag. Now he's going to throw the ball away. St. Mary's going to have a penalty.
And it is. It'll be first and 20 Lumberjacks.
The Bulldogs, well, they threw it away, so it would be second and 10. So the Bulldogs are going to take the penalty. Brings up first and 20 for St. Mary's. And I guess if they'd gotten the sack or loss of yardage from that and the loss of down, Grangeville probably would have declined that penalty. But first and 20 for St. Mary's. 2 receivers top, 2 bottom. Barta takes the shotgun snap, looks to throw, quick throw out into the flat, going to be Harold. Harold gets the sideline. He's going to get just across the original line of scrimmage, up to about the 43-yard line.
Yards there, so we'll give about 12. It'll be third and a long 8 or 9 for the Lumberjacks.
Call that 42, pickup of 11. Should be like 8 yards to go, not 10. I think. Oops. Not first down either. What the heck? Third down. 3rd and 8. I don't know why that gave St. Mary's a first down on that one, but it did. Lumberjacks up the line of scrimmage. 22 seconds on the clock. High snap, but they're going to get that pulled down. Going to get the run to year out.
3 yards up the middle.
Why the sideline markers show? They've got the sideline markers off, I think. They show third down on the sideline. It is the end of the fourth quarter, though. St. Mary's trails 43-0 to the Bulldogs here at home on senior night. We'll be back.
The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from Triple X Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's.
And we are back, and it is going to be a running clock from here on out. Only time the clock will stop will be if there's a timeout. 3rd and about 5 for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks on the 46-yard line. Going to get a pass to DeLong, I think, and DeLong is going to, no, that's to Speakman. He's going to stumble forward.
Speakman is going to get close to a first down, but about a yard short.
Give him 4 yards. And it'll be 4th and about a yard for St. Mary's. On a night when nothing has gone right for St. Mary's, we'll see what can happen here. As far as, I mean, it's not like turnovers, nothing. Just St. Mary's, Grangeville, hats off to them, as their defense has played very well against St. Mary's offense tonight. St. Mary's defense has had a tough time finding a way to stop the Grangeville run game. 4th and 1 for St. Mary's. St. Mary's had a 4th and 1 earlier, couldn't get the first down. And that's going to be very close. Ooh.
Looks like Barta's got enough for a first down there.
Jack Barta keeps it, and they're going to give him the first down. That was very close, in my opinion. So St. Mary's gets the benefit of the call on that across the 49 of Grangeville. I think right now St. Mary's wants to get a score on the board. They definitely don't want to be shut out here at home on senior night. 4 receiver set for the Lumberjacks. Actually, looks like it's a 2 receiver set. Handoff to Russell Brousseau, I believe it was. Russell not even listed as a running back, getting some carries here. Picks up 2. I don't think he is anyways. No, he's a whole lineman and defensive end. 2nd and 8 for St. Mary's. Second time of the night St. Mary's has gotten into the Bulldog territory. 2 receivers to the top, 1, 2 to the bottom for St. Mary's. Barta in the shotgun, flanked by Yearout. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Yearout, looks to throw. He's going to find his brother in the middle of the field. He's trying to find some room to run. And they're going to say the ball came out, and it did. We get the completion. Barta gets that ball to the 40, but they're going to strip the ball out of his hands. And I don't know who recovered it for Grangeville, but the Bulldogs will have it at the 42. That's a Lumberjack turnover. I don't know who recovered it for Grangeville, but it's asking me to put that in anyways. 9:06. First and 10 for Grangeville from the Lumberjacks, or from their own 42, 43-yard line. Lumberjacks now split turnovers with Grangeville. St. Mary's with an interception. Grangeville with the fumble recovery. Smith hands it off to Weckman. Weckman coming near side. Now cuts it up the middle. Finds a little bit of room to run. Going to be brought down finally all the way down into Lumberjack territory. He'll be tackled by Wilcox.
Beckman on the carry for a first down, Grangeville.
And that ball's going to be marked at the 38-yard line. First and 10 for Grangeville. Lumberjacks going to fall to 1-1 in league play here tonight. Make a three-way tie. They need to beat Priest River next week. And that's depending on, of course, what else goes on in the other games, league-wise. But one receiver to the top for the Bulldogs. Smith under center. Smith takes the snap, hands it off. That is Blewett. He's going to get tackled by Wilcox after about an 8-yard pickup.
Pick up about 6 yards.
Second and 4 for the Bulldogs. Again, running clock, down under 7.5 to go in the contest. Not the senior night these Lumberjacks had envisioned or hoped for tonight. One receiver to the top for Grangeville. Smith is going to be under center. Two running backs in the backfield. Smith watching the back judge. Going to take the snap, hands it off. Weckman, or I think that's Weckman. Yeah, he's going to spin off of one guy. Tries to make a few more yards. I think he actually got maybe another yard or so out of that spin move. I know one of the Lumberjacks in there was Durham. I think it's a 4-yard pickup. I'll give Durham the tackle. One guy we haven't heard much of tonight, the Bulldogs have been doing a good job of keeping Cody Mitchell from being a factor in the game. I haven't called Cody's name too much tonight. Or Durham, honestly, the two big defensive ends for St. Mary's. Smith again under center, looking at that back judge, waiting for the time to click off. St. Mary's going to blow this one up in the backfield. Blew it with the carry. Amato Stewart gets credit for the tackle.
Tackle by Stewart. Catching Blewett in the backfield. The loss on the play. It'll be second at about 12.
A couple of yard loss there for the Bulldogs. A game like this makes it also tough on picking that Taco Bell player of the game. We'll be looking at stats this evening. Maybe Amato Stewart. I've called his name quite a few times so far. I think he's had a couple of tackles for loss, so let's see. 5:40 to go. Second and about 13 for the Bulldogs. One receiver at the top, Smith under center. Takes the snap. Some confusion. I don't know what happened there, but the guy with the ball is Heitzman. I do not know what happened there. Is Smith turned around
Small game.
To hand it off, and people were bouncing around everywhere. I don't even know if that's where the ball was intended to go to Heitzman, but he's the one that ended up with it. I'm going to call him DeGravio, the tackle there. Third and about 12 as they got maybe a yard on the play. Actually, it might have been a loss of a yard. So it's third and 12. Grangeville in the huddle, kind of just waiting, letting time tick off the clock before they go up to the line of scrimmage. Under 5 to go. I'm sure St. Mary's offense wants one more shot with the ball, so they want to get a stop here. Grangeville's going to snap it. Quarterback keeper this time. Ball came loose or no? I guess not.
10 yards. It'll be fourth down, Grangeville.
They're going to mark that ball down to the 22 or 23-yard line. Brings up 4th and 5. Bulldogs going to go for it. This is where you've got this lead, and I've heard them kind of talk about their kicker. Maybe let him hit a field goal or try a field goal. If they're not going to. Smith's under center. Smith waiting to take the snap. And they're going to take the delay of game instead. So we'll bring up 4th and 10. Grangeville, again, just taking their time, obviously, burning time off the clock. Not trying to run the score up, obviously. They might wait to take a timeout. We got our field announcers up there talking in the booth. They got left their mic on. The snap, handoff, no, fake handoff. Smith is going to keep it, and he finds a big opening. He's going to take it to the end zone for a touchdown for the Bulldogs. St. Mary's could have had him stopped for a turnover on downs, but Smith finds his way to pay dirt as Grangeville scores one more time, 2:43 and counting. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good by Gomez. The score, 50-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. 7 plays, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
And the PAT is good with a minute, 56 seconds left. Grangeville goes up 49-0.
Bulldogs will kick off. St. Mary's will get one last possession with not a lot of time on the clock. I mean, I get the running clock thing, but I think if this change of possession like this for the kickoff, maybe they should have a stop clock just for that, but it doesn't really matter, obviously. Tough night for the Lumberjacks here tonight on their home field. Lumberjacks still winless at home against a very tough, very well-coached Grangeville Bulldogs squad. Gustav, Brousseau, and Barta back to return the kick. St. Mary's will be on the road the last 2 weeks of the season. They'll be at Priest River next week, then finish up the year in Orofino. St. Mary's may not even get really much of a chance to even try to get the zero off the board here with 52 seconds on the clock, and just the Bulldogs, everybody taking their time getting the kickoff off. Low line drive. Gustav's going to field it on the bounce at the 25, reverses field, cuts it up the middle, takes it across to about the 44. St. Mary's going to call a timeout.
Timeout, St. Mary's, 25 seconds left.
I'll mark that at the 45-yard line. Now, St. Mary's isn't going to have any quit in them regardless of what the score is and how much time is on the clock. St. Mary's wants to not have a zero on the board for their side of the score. So expect St. Mary's to burn all 3 of their timeouts here with 25 seconds to go. They may not have to burn the timeouts because they'll probably be taking some shots deep here. Barta is going to be in the shotgun, flanked by Yearout. 4 receiver set. Look to throw. Going deep. Has his brother incomplete on the far sideline.
Timeout, St. Mary's.
Oh, and Lumberjacks take timeout because they had to. I forget with the running clock. They really probably should have had more time on the clock than 12 seconds, but I forgot that the incomplete pass won't stop that. So we got a couple more seniors to go over. In fact, I think we've got 3 seniors to, oh boy. We will finish off our seniors. We got about 5 seniors left that I haven't gotten to yet. We'll go over them at the end of the game. So 2nd and 10 for the Lumberjacks. 1 receiver near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Barta in the pistol, takes the snap. Going to pitch it out and around. Going to have DeLong, who was a quarterback. He's going to heave it up, and there's nothing but Bulldogs there. It's going to be, I think, incomplete.
That's the ball game.
Lumberjacks pull out the trickeration there, trying to get the pass. I think it was to Jack Barta. Incomplete, and that's how the game's going to end. St. Mary's falls tonight in a tough way. Shut out here at home, 50-0. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and go over our final seniors and our stats and our Talk About It player of the game.
When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, "Go Lumberjacks!" If you know which side of the saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's. Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. Triple X Feeds has Magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. Triple X Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, Triple X Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to watch a read.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Here we are back. The Lumberjacks fall tonight on senior night in a tough evening, 50-0 to the Grangeville Bulldogs. And real quickly, I've got about 4 or 5 more seniors to get through before the night's over. Our next senior, Kyle Smith, parents and guardians Sandy and Dell Smith. 12 years of playing football. Kyle plans to attend college for a business degree after high school. His activities include football and BPA. He's played basketball as well, and I hope we can get him convinced into playing again this year. Most memorable night, beating Kellogg or moment. Kyle would like to thank his mom and dad, all of his family, teammates, coaches, and all of his friends. Next senior is Zach Peaches Soten. His parents are Paul and Suzanne Soten. He has 40 years of football. Zach plans to serve in the U.S. Army and pursue power line work. His activities in school, wrestling, football, and track. His most memorable moment, sophomore year football camp. Zach would like to thank his family, friends, and coaches for always having faith in him no matter what he is doing. Amato Stewart is our next senior, parents and guardians, Adam and Stormy Stewart. He has 4 years of football. Amato plans to attend the University of Idaho and study criminology. In high school, he's played football, wrestling, baseball, BPA, and ASB. Most memorable moment, the fun times on the back of the bus. Amato would like to thank his parents, Ayla, Charlie, Jack, Brock, Russell, Michael, Hayden, and Denny. Our next senior, Alan Wise, parents and guardians JB and Casey Wise. He has 10 years of football. Alan plans to go into the Army. He plays football, golf, and does welding in high school. His most memorable moment, getting hit by Rowan every day his sophomore year. Alan would like to thank his parents, Taylor and her family, his siblings, grandparents, friends, and their families, coaches, teammates, and anyone that he may have missed. Alan Wise. Aiden Yearout is our next senior. His parents, Doug and Keena Yearout, 9 years of football for Aiden. Aiden plans to attend college to wrestle, study business, and go to trade school to become an electrician. Activities in school, wrestling, football, and welding. Most memorable moments, scoring 4 touchdowns against Kellogg. Aiden would like to thank everyone, but most importantly his coaches, family, and teammates. And that wraps up our seniors here on senior night. Stats, individual or team stats tonight. Lumberjacks with just 7 first downs. Grangeville with 21. Third down efficiencies. Lumberjacks 1 of 13. Bulldogs 3 of 13. St. Mary's 1 of 5 on fourth downs. Grangeville 1 of 4. St. Mary's with just 109 yards offense tonight. 398 yards total offense for the Bulldogs. St. Mary's had a really tough time getting their offense going. Passing yardage, St. Mary's 121 or Grangeville 107. Rushing, St. Mary's unofficially finishes with negative 12 yards. And the Bulldogs put up 291 yards on the ground against the Lumberjacks. Penalties, not fully accurate there. Turnovers, each team had 1. St. Mary's with a fumble. Bulldogs with an interception. Individually, the Bulldogs, Gage Smith, 7 of 12 passing for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Hollis Elliott had a good night on the ground, 16 carries, 135 yards and a touchdown. Tate Schumacher had 1 reception for 40 yards for the Bulldogs. Gavin Blewett had 3 receptions for 38 yards and 2 touchdowns for Grangeville. And take a quick break, and we'll look at the Lumberjacks individuals and the Talk About It player of the game.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Yeah, we are back. Take a quick look at some individual stats for St. Mary's. Jack Barta, 15 of 22 tonight for 123 yards passing. Rushing yardage, a little bit off just because of the bad snap goes against St. Mary's team rushing, and the negatives on Jack Barta for the couple of sacks he had. So St. Mary's ends up with just not being able to get that ground game going tonight. Jackson Harold had 1 rush for 4 yards. Aiden Yearout, 7 carries for just 3 yards tonight. Russell Brousseau, 2 carries for 3 yards. Chris Brousseau, 1 carry, didn't gain any yards on that one. And Jack Barta was 7 for -9. Receiving, Brock Barta, 7 catches, 60 yards. Isaiah Gustav, 4 for 43 yards. Harold had 1 catch for 11 yards. Speakman had 2 catches for 5 yards, and Yearout had 1 for 2. Defensively, unofficial, I have William Durham with 5 tackles, Jackson Harold, Brock Barta, and Amato Stewart with 4 apiece, as well as Colin DeGravio, Kyle Smith, and Logan Wilcox, each with 2, and Santiago Prinzado, Grayson DeLong, Isaiah Gustav, Dylan Gentry, Cody Mitchell, and Russell Brousseau, each with 1 tackle. And, of course, these are, again, unofficial stats for the tackle numbers. And I kind of mentioned it, and I think I'm going to lean that way because I think it's not showing me tackles for loss here on the defensive side of things, but I think Amato Stewart had a couple of tackles for loss tonight, and his tackle numbers overall for the evening might go up when I go and review the stats. So I'm going to give that senior defensive linebacker, I believe is what he plays for St. Mary's. Let me double check. Yeah, he's one of our linebackers. So I'm going to go with Amato Stewart tonight. So unofficially 4 tackles, a couple of tackles for loss, I'm sure, and just a pretty solid senior night for him out there doing what he can to try to stop that Bulldog rush attack tonight. St. Mary's doesn't get any easier. They got Priest River next week on the road in Priest River, and like we talked about in the pregame, there's not going to be an at-large bid coming out of our league, and this loss tonight makes things tougher for St. Mary's. But if you can get a 3-way tie-in league, then I'm not sure what it comes down to as far as how they break that tie. So if St. Mary's can come away with a victory against Priest River next week, it could make things interesting as far as playoffs are concerned. So we just got to wait and see what happens next week. I haven't seen any scores for Kellogg or Priest River tonight, so we can't give you an update on them as far as that goes. But that's going to do it for us here tonight from Lumberjack Field. Again, tough one for St. Mary's on senior night, 40-0 loss to the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs continue to be an Achilles heel for the Lumberjacks. But we'll be back out here to cheer on the Lumberjack girls and boys soccer teams tomorrow as they have senior day hosting Grangeville soccer fields. If you're not doing nothing, come on out. Hopefully the rain holds off. But cheer on the Lumberjack soccer games tomorrow. Noon is when they start.
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFD 1240 St. Mary's, your Lumberjack Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We also want to thank our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Until next time, same as always, go Lumberjacks!